Now tell me about the process, because you are an author yourself.
Well, I've written 4 books, and 3 of the 4, no, all 4 of them, I wrote them using WordPerfect 5.1 because I like that word processing program better than Microsoft Word. I use the word processor, I use the computer and the word processor to write. And once it's written, I send it. I have some friends that are experts in grammar and spelling. So I would have a team of people. Like when I wrote my first book, there were 4 or 5 people I sent the book to do proofreading just to catch grammar and spelling mistakes, and then others to actually editing, giving me comments on content.
Sure. Well,
Yes.
I want to talk about something very, very special in your life that actually you and I have in common, both being Toastmasters. Tell me about your Toastmasters career and your speech, winning, becoming a speech championship, and how literacy played into that.
It's important to know that for me, words are of utmost importance. I get into arguments with people because they'll say, you know what I meant. And I said, it's not up to me to know what you meant. It is up to you to say what you meant. Use the word that comes closest to expressing what you intend to express. So words have always been important to me in that way. And what got me started on that, I know you didn't ask for this, but I think it's going to be relevant to your message. I had an English teacher in the 11th grade who gave me a B. I was accustomed to getting all A's, and this American Lit teacher gave me a B. Now, she gave me a B midterm, and I asked, why did she give me a B? She said, oh, Dana, you know you're going to get an A. You always do. So she said, I just gave you a B to keep you working. Well, at the end of the semester, I got my grades and I got a B. And I was quite disturbed about it. Not so disturbed that I got a B itself, but disturbed that she said, you're going to get an A. And if I weren't working to the standard of getting an A, I would expect her to say so. She said nothing during the course of the semester, but she gave me a B. And I went to her and asked why. And her answer was, because you have no writing style and your vocabulary is morose, and you probably don't know what that means. Well, she was right. I did not know what morose meant. I went and looked it up. And from that moment on, words became extremely important to me. I want to know what this word means. And I don't want anyone to ever say that my vocabulary is morose. So I worked on building my vocabulary. I started playing Scrabble, doing crossword puzzles, reading from the Reader's Digest. It pays to increase your word bounce.
I love that. Oh my!
I would sit and read the dictionary because I wanted to know words, and I wanted to know which word was best to express something. And getting back to your question about Toastmasters, so speaking and coming up with the right word was very important to me. I did some speaking. I have been doing some speaking in churches and schools going back to the mid-70s. Before I went to college, so while I was in high school, I was in the speech club in high school.
Right, okay.
And, as I said, I was speaking, and someone suggested that I joined Toastmasters because I had to give a humorous speech at a wedding. And I lost sleep over having to do that. I just, how do you intentionally make people laugh? And after I gave my speech at the wedding, that was back in 1988, someone suggested I join Toastmasters. So I checked out a Toastmasters club. I liked what they were doing. It seemed fun. And I joined. once I joined, I learned that they had speech contests, which took me back to my high school days when I did speech competition. So I said, great, I'll get into the speech contest. And that's how it all developed. When I worked on my speech, it became very important. In the contest, you have 5 to 7 minutes
Yes.
to do a speech. And someone said to me, oh, 5 to 7, that should be easy. I said, oh, on the contrary, being able to say something of substance, say it concisely enough that people get your message, and you're also able to, not only to communicate. So effective communication, as far as I'm concerned, is, as Aristotle says, it is to provoke thought and evoke emotion.
Okay.
And to do both of those in a 5 to 7 minute speech is not necessarily easy.
I imagine, yes.
And you have to choose your words very carefully in order to be effective. So that's what speech competition did for me, is to help me work on choosing the right words to get the message across and entertain at the same time.
Well, did you ever think you would be a world champion speaker? It's amazing.
My goal was to be in the world championship. It wasn't necessarily to win it. I figured that's pretty good just to be in it. So I actually did not plan to win. I planned to be in it. But if you keep doing the right things, if you do what you need to do to get in it, then you've also done the things you need to do to win it. I came in second place the first year that I got to the World Championship. I had fellow Toastmasters to encourage me to continue. I was going to stop right there. I was content with coming in second place, but there were several Toastmasters that encouraged me to try it a second time.
Okay.
Which is really a third time. It was the third year that I actually started competing.
Okay.
And I won first place then.
And what happened as a result of that?
As a result of that, I started getting invitations to speak for Toastmasters. Toastmasters have clubs around the world.
Right.
So I've had a chance to travel to Australia, Malaysia, Indonesia, China, Taiwan, Canada, South Africa, giving speeches, and which is quite enjoyable. I mean, I told you I like to talk. I told you I like to travel. Put the two together, and it's a great life.